Hello everybody and welcome to another video in this GitHub series. In the previous video we talked about GitHub issues, and if you didn't watch that video I encourage you to do so by clicking right now on the link that will appear on the top right corner. As usual, I would like you to support my channel by subscribing for more videos to help me reach more robotics fans. In this video I'm going to talk about GitHub Projects, which is a powerful tool that will allow you to manage bigger projects on GitHub and keep things organized. So without any further ado, let's get started. First, I'm gonna head to my first repo, which I created previously in this GitHub series to demonstrate the different concepts that I will be explaining. So on the home page of the repository, you can go to the Projects tab to explore the GitHub projects. So what are GitHub projects? These are Kanban style boards. If you're not familiar with these type of boards, these are basically boards that allow you to categorize your activities under three different sections. It can be either to do for the tasks that you are planning to work on but did not start yet. You have the in progress category, which means you are currently working on the task. And finally you have the done, which means that you accomplished the task, you finished everything. And the tasks typically inside a certain project on GitHub are either pull requests that are opened and need to be resolved, or it can be open issues that need to be resolved. And these can be related to bugs to be solved or additional new features to be added to the repository. And we will see together that GitHub provides tools to tackle the different tasks inside a certain project efficiently. It will help you to visualize the task. It will help you to prioritize the work. So let's head to that. I'm gonna create a new project. And in here you can start with different types of templates. You have plenty. But I'm gonna start with the basic templates, which are going to be table, board, and roadmap. You can choose one of those, and then I'm gonna add the other two. Don't worry. So let's start with table, the most basic one. I'm gonna add a name for the project. So let's say my first project, and then hit the create button. Once you do so, you will end up with this blank table. I'm gonna add tasks. It's gonna be either create a new issue or add item from the repository. I'm gonna choose this one. And I can choose any issue or any pull request that was opened, closed, whatever. Typically you want to choose open issues or open pull request, because you want to tackle those, okay? You don't want solved things. I'm gonna select this item, and as you can see, it was added in here. And then I can specify an assignee. It's gonna be myself, but you might have other options for other people who interacted with your repo if you are collaborating with other people. In this case, I'm not, that's why I didn't have many options. For the status, it can be either classified as to do, in progress, and done, as I mentioned before. Let's say to do. You have the option to add additional fields, additional columns for additional information according to your tastes and needs. So that's it for this table view. It's called a view. Let's add another view. Let's go to the board view to see what it can offer. So as you can see, here I have the activities as blocks that can be picked and placed under different categories. Okay. I can also add item in here, add the plus button and add item from repository, and you can add an additional item. It's not something open, but just for the sake of this tutorial to show you more tasks. Okay, so let's say it's done in this case, and this one is in progress. So you can also add more columns according to your needs if you want. Now, the final view that I'm going to go over is the roadmap. And for the roadmap, you will have the ability to add your tasks to a timeline. In this case, it's April 25. You can add them to any day you want to show on this chart. It's like a Gantt chart actually, when the task is gonna start and when it's planned to be done. But before we add the tasks to the timeline, I'm gonna introduce something really important, which is the date fields. So a date field is like a placeholder that will be assigned a certain date. And I'm gonna show you what is the importance of this by giving you directly an example. So I'm gonna make sure to add two fields that are important to me. And typically you should do that in any project. You should add the start date, which is a date field type. And then I'm gonna add the target date, which means the planned date for the task to be finished. So it's gonna be target date, also of the type date. And then you will see in here that you have the title start date. This actually monitors the start date of a task that's added in your timeline. Okay? And this target date refers to the end date of your tasks that you have added on the timeline. And in this case, what we are saying for GitHub is that, hey GitHub, extract the start date of the tasks that I have added to the timeline and assign its value to a date field or a placeholder called the start date that's associated with the same task under the project that we have called my first project. Okay? The same thing is done for the target. We are assigning the target date value to the target date field. So let's show you what this does in this case. So if I press the plus button, the task will be added to the timeline. Give it a bit of time, it might lag a bit, that's normal. Once it's added, you can open it to see what it is. And you can also, if you hover on its left side, you can extend it if it needs more time. On the right side as well. And you can drag it around. Also, it might lag a bit, don't worry about that. So let's say that I have settled for April 19th till April 29th. It's gonna take 10 days to be done, okay? If I go to this pull request, I'm gonna see in here so apparently I have created previously another project and I have added this pull request twice. So let me focus on the new one. So in here you have my first project. So this means that this pull request was added to this project. Also, it has the status done. We have seen this in here. And you can see that the start date and the target date, which are the date fields that we have created, are assigned to April 19 and 29 according to the start and end dates of the task. All right. If I go ahead and, for example, flip those values, so the start date will be assigned to target and the target will be assigned to start, and then I change the dates in here, 29 to 21 to the 1st of May, you will see that the 1st of May is assigned to be the start date and the target is the 21st. So make sure not to flip those to avoid any confusion. You can add as many tasks as you want from the available ones to the timeline. Once you do that, make sure to save. Other options that I would like to cover are, here you can use the arrows to navigate the timeline. You can change the zoom level from month to quarter or even a year. Depends on your needs. You can sort the different tasks by title, by assignees, by start date, different ways. You can also display some markers. So let's say I have added a certain milestone to the project. I can visualize the deadline of the milestone. In this case, I did not. You can add the milestone to the project. Let's say the start date. You can see that I have in here the start date for this one and the start date for this one. You can see as well the end date of this one. In this case, this task is taking 1 day, so that's why. So if we extend it to more days, you will see also markers for the start and the end. Now, other tabs that I wanted you to learn about is the insight. This actually provides you with insight about the project. So you can see in this chart the progress of the work. So what was done and what tasks are to be done in the future. And here you will have a chart to show you the different tasks that are completed on a certain day and the different tasks that are opened. Right now I only have one curve for the completed. You will have another curve and another color for the opened if you have opened issues that are added to the project. Now here you can see project details. You can modify the description and add a readme for the instructions. And if you press on these dots in here, you can go to settings and you can manage the different details. You can manage the visibility from public to private or vice versa. You can close, delete the project, make a copy. You can manage the access to the project. You can invite, for example, in this case, more collaborators to work on this project with you. It's your choice. For the status in here, you saw that the to-do has a green color. You wanted to change it, or you want to change the to-do label. You can customize these in here and you can see how it will appear. Make sure to press save at the end. The same thing can be done for the in progress and done for the different status of the tasks in your project. Here I can see the different fields that I have created, in this case date fields. So I can change their names, I can delete them. I can also create a new field and specify its type from the available types. So this is pretty much it for the GitHub project. I did not use this tool before myself, but I've heard of it. So I wanted to explain about it in this video. So feel free to play around with it. And if you face any issue, feel free to comment it or to write it down as a comment under this video, and maybe we can work on the issue together, and we can help others to learn more about GitHub project. In the next video, I'm going to talk about miscellaneous advanced Git techniques that might be useful for you to solve some complicated issues that you might face while working with GitHub. So make sure not to miss out. And with this, I bid you farewell, and I wish you a good one.